How's it going, whiskey fans? Hope you're ready for Christmas. Just wanted to give you a little end of year update and kind of a status report on the Whiskey Club and what's been going on. First day back for me, up and running. I've been on the flat of my back actually the last couple of weeks with since I came back from Ohio to Ireland for Christmas, but caught COVID along the way despite all the vaccinations, and I suppose a couple of days after getting my booster I caught COVID, and so my taste, my smell, energy was all gone the last few weeks, and today is the first day now where I feel like I'm back kind of fighting fit, ready to tackle a bit of whiskey again. So out for a little walk in the lovely grounds here of Blarney Castle and Gardens in Cork. So first day out, a little bit of whiskey, a little bit of blue spot, a little miniature blue spot here to keep me going along the lovely lake walk and the gardens. So a big year, I suppose, in the whiskey community for us, and we've accomplished a lot really in our club and in our group. Our group grew in the past year by about 5,000 members, which is incredible. We're now about 9,200 members and growing at about 40 or 50 a week, which is great news for us because there's great friendships being formed, and yeah, a great community building up around Irish whiskey and the Irish Whiskey Fans in America Facebook group. So I want to give you all a huge thank you for being part of the community and for helping it grow, and for kind of sharing your own insights and knowledge and questions and thoughts and locations you found where there's whiskey to be had. It's been very helpful to our members, I know, to hear from others in their area and their neighbourhoods about what's available, especially with Redbreast PX, the mad dash for that this year. The Whiskey Club, of course, we launched that in the middle of October, and we're now into our third month of the Whiskey Club. We've had quite a few Meet the Maker events. We've got another one coming up now in the 29th of December, rescheduled from the 19th because I was really unable to kind of do anything during COVID. Look at this lovely view behind me here, lovely lake. This is Lake Blarney, and yeah, so we've got Nick Ryan from Thomond Gate Whisky. He's joining us on the 29th of December to close out our last Whiskey Club event of the year. We'll have our first Meet the Maker event of 2022 in January, early January, actually live in person from Bushmills in Northern Ireland. So I'll be heading up to Bushmills for that to meet and sit down with the team there, and I'll be sharing more details of the Meet the Maker event about and the details of who we'll be sitting down with very, very soon. The club is growing, which is great, and I'll be the first to admit it is a big undertaking that I have undertaken to grow the club. There's a lot more work than I kind of expected, certainly at the beginning, and so in 2022 we'll have a little bit more help, taking on a little bit of help to help manage all the communications and questions that so many of you have outside of the group. We get a lot of messages every day with different questions about different aspects of the club, and takes up a lot of time, so I'll have some help with that, and that's also going to allow us to create a lot more content. So just like I'm coming to you now with this little video camera, little GoPro, walking along the lake, you'll see more of these kinds of videos, but on site in distilleries and with brands starting in January. So anywhere from little 10 to 15 minute videos on site, give you some behind the scenes tours and behind the scenes access really with those folks making good whiskey in interesting places around Ireland. So I'm excited about bringing that out in January. January I think will be busy because we'll have, I think, our Whiskey Club cask from O'Shaughnessy Distilling will be launched to the group. We'll also be announcing our first quarterly tasting event of 2022, which we'll be announcing the details of very soon, but we'll be opening the doors to that in January. I'm excited about that. And we'll also have, still working on our club bottling, our first club bottling. Let me take you down here because this is a nice part of the country here too. Our club bottling is going to take a little bit longer than we expected. One, it's not finished fully in the cask. Lovely lake here again, Blarney Lake behind me. But we don't feel like the whiskey is 100% there. It's about 98% there, and sure, we couldn't deliver you anything less than 100. And so we'll get another sample of that at the end of this month, so in the next week, and we'll test it and sample it and see if we're ready to go. And then it'll be the big task of bringing that whiskey to bottle and then to the United States. Logistics challenges are really up against us at the moment, and look like they'll continue to be up against us heading into 2022. One of the biggest challenges is shipping and packaging. And so you're going to start to see some of those challenges bear out in the club early on, but we'll do our best to work around them. So for example, packaging for our next quarterly club event won't look the same as the first packaging you got. That took 9 months, would you believe, to get that packaging to market. Lead times now are just ridiculous for the right packaging for our bottles. So 2022 we'll work towards a standardized bottling size, like a glass size. But glass again is in high demand and short supply around the world at the moment. So we'll work towards that. We'll also work towards this kind of a standardized package, but maybe for our next 1 or 2 tastings you might see slightly varied packaging, but never fear, the whiskey inside would be fantastic anyway. And I'm excited to share with you the details of our first quarterly tasting. I think it's something different. You're actually going to get a world exclusive and a world first in that tasting pack, so that's exciting. Some surprises coming up in 2022 as well, with additional club events that'll pop up. So there's lots ahead. It's been a busy kind of a launch 3 months, laying the groundwork. We're still working on lots of the foundational aspects, the legal aspects, to make sure that we can operate the club to the best of its potential. And so I'll keep sharing with you the details of what we're working on. We'll have a lot more content being created too, in terms of whiskey tasting notes. We've got an article dropping just after Christmas on the use of Madeira casks and Madeira wine in the production of Irish whiskey, which is an interesting article. Doing a little bit of a trilogy focus there between Madeira, sherry and port over the next few weeks on their use in Irish whiskey and how they influence the tastes and the profiles of some of the Irish whiskies you know and love. So lots of more content coming, some cocktails coming as well, Irish whiskey cocktails. So 2022 is the year we'll really beef out the content, beef out the offerings, and make sure that we're delivering value to you every month for your membership. And I'm excited with the cask, the first cask in January we'll talk about, and we're already talking about our second cask, which will follow not too long afterwards. So I'll share more details of that early in the new year. So look, that's kind of the end of year update really, from Stories and Sips. I'm delighted my taste and smell have come back, so I can take a little sip now. This little blue spot here, a little sneaky old sip while I'm walking around. Let me grab the top of that little sip. Ah yeah, God, that'll warm me up. Speaking of Madeira aged pot still whiskey there. But I hope that you all have a lovely, peaceful, safe, healthy Christmas and New Year. I hope you get to enjoy some Irish whiskey. I hope you get to take a break from whatever it is that is taking you away from times with your family, time in your own head, and that you get some time to yourself and just do the things that you want. It's been a crazy few years, and probably another year or 2 of craziness ahead of us yet. So I suppose important to take care of ourselves, and the community that we have here is a great community for support as well. And so I know there's lots of support for anybody who's got any questions or needs any help in any aspect of their lives as well. We're not just about whiskey. So yeah, I hope to see you Stories and Sips Whiskey Club members at our last Meet the Maker event of the year, which is on December 29th with Nick Ryan from Thomond Gate Whiskey. I just got my delivery of Thomond Gate Whiskey today, which I'll be sipping on during that event, and looking forward to sharing lots and lots of whiskey events and projects and things to get involved in the Whiskey Club and through our group here. Some giveaways as well coming up in 2022. So a huge thank you to all of you again for being part of this fantastic community. It's a real privilege to be part of it with you, and wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Sláinte.